Hey guys, how's it going? Today I would like to keep the video sweet and short and just check out with you how to actually practice and how to unlock your super spin mode on the silks. So what I'm talking about is spinning like this here, and I just wanted to give you some little tips on what to pay attention to when you are trying to do this move. Before we get started, just be aware that aerial silks is a dangerous activity, so make sure you are not training without the supervision of a professional and that you also use safety mats. And even for this move here, which is basically just a hip key and then spinning afterwards and then kind of just coming out of the hip key again, you actually need a lot of strength already. So you will need a lot of core strength and a lot of good hand strength as well to be able to hold on to the slicks like that. And yeah, just make sure that this is not something for beginners to try it straight away, because the spinning might make you feel dizzy, which makes it hard, and then at the same time the momentum makes it really hard to actually squeeze your whole body tightly. So it looks much easier than it actually is. But let's have a look at it. So starting from the beginning, we basically just want to climb up the slicks and get into a hip key, as I am here. And then we just want to grab the silk tail and start creating some spin. And here you want to make sure that you kind of get a feeling for creating the spin as well. So you want it to be kind of like a smooth and constant arm movement, so like no quick and harsh movements, but rather just have like a flowy movement with your hand, like just really constant, to be able to not destroy that spin that you're creating by like harsh little movements. And yeah, basically just want to go with the flow here. So just try to practice this a bit and like, yeah, see how you go. You'll eventually find out how to create that spin really easily for yourself. And yeah, in the beginning you need a little bit of patience, because starting to create spin is always the worst. It feels like you're not going anywhere, but you just keep going and try to like not stop halfway through and then start again and that, but just try to keep it all nice and flowing and just smooth, and like, yeah, just keep going on that. Once we got to that point here, we want to grab onto the silks really tightly with our hands, and we're gonna really squeeze them as tightly as we can. We don't want to let go of them. And then we're gonna bring our upper body up by like bringing our body in, and you can leave your arms bent first, and we're just gonna come out of this hip key. Like, we just want to bring our body into a straight line, into a straight vertical line, and then we just want to keep our body as tight as we can, to really keep squeezing your core, to really keep everything tight. Don't let it flop out or anything, because we want to be able to be like the center, which is turning. So we have to be a very strong center then as well to make that possible. And as you can see, I'm keeping my legs wide in the beginning. This will help you to actually focus on really keeping all the rest of the body, all the upper body tight. And of course you want to have those legs super engaged as well. And then you can just try out holding this position and just see how you go. Like, can you actually hold this position nicely, or do you kind of fall out of it because of the momentum? Just keep practicing this, and then when you feel that this feels kind of good, you can try to bring the legs together now, and you still have to keep them super engaged for this, and then just put some additional strength into it to bring those legs together. And it sounds super easy, like, yeah, white legs, just bring them together, but the momentum will really try to make this hard for you. So it's actually not as easy as you think, because as we are bringing the legs together, we're making ourselves smaller again. Like, we just want to be one straight line then, like a pencil. And this means that we're also going to start spinning faster, because you probably remember, like, usually when we take like an arm out or leg out or something when we're spinning, it slows us down, but when we bring it back in, then it speeds us up a bit. And here it's the same thing. So we have our legs wide first, and then once we feel good, once we feel safe, we feel like we still have good hand grip there and we can still hold it, then we can bring the legs together. And just a little note here, so when you actually disengage something, so let's say you're losing like your engaged core and that, and like your back starts arching and whatever, like this will not only destroy the spin, but it will also make it harder to get back into that position. So it's really good to just really focus before you let go of anything. Like, just make sure you're engaging all the right bits before you actually start continuing into making the spin faster. It's kind of obvious, but also don't let go of the silks. Like, just keep holding onto it. And when you feel like it's getting really hard for your hands, just come out of it and try again after, or during your next practice. Let's just sum it up. We want to have like smooth arm movements in the beginning to be able to create that spin and always go with the flow there. We want to keep our body super tight as we are opening up out of this hip key, so pulling ourselves up. You can have bent arms first and then slowly straighten them out, but keeping the body super tight. And then our legs are wide, and if we bring them together, keeping them engaged, we're gonna spin even faster, and this whole time we're not letting go of the silks. Also, when you're practicing like technique like that, it's not like practicing a combination where you basically hear the explanation and you're like, oh yeah, cool, yeah, I can do this, this will work out straight up, that's okay. This might be true for like combinations because you know the moves are ready, so you basically just have to put them together differently and that. But for like little technique things like these, it takes heaps of practice to actually get there, because so often we are distracted by the spinning or just distracted by just being a bit tired or whatever. So we don't pay attention to all those little cues that we should be paying attention to, and that's why it doesn't work out, and it just takes a bit of time for our brain to actually process all that information. So usually it doesn't work out straight up the same day you try it, but if you just keep going, keep repeating it with time, it will become more and more automatic, and then yeah, eventually you'll just nail it. I hope you liked this little video and that I could give you some useful tips here, and if you have any questions, just ask them down below, and see you soon. Bye!